Paul McCartney and Wings were playing. We were determined to get backstage at any cost, in any way. We did.
The fact that I got to go on 2 Led Zeppelin tours was like a rite of passage for me.
Eventually, I found myself in a room with Keith Richards and Ron Wood.
I did a piece for Cream when I went on the road with the Ramones in Texas.
Leonard Skinner was a really important story for me.
They were on the tour with the Runaways.
But if you had to pick my favorite assignment, it would probably be George Harrison.
The Clash, I remember when they were at the Motor City roller rink. That was a great assignment. I loved it.
My responsibility, as I see it as a critic, is not to help a lot of new bands to sell their records. It's to help people that are buying the records.
Rock writers like priests and life coaches and the crazy person screaming on the street corner are here to try and show you the true and righteous way and what matters. Because music matters. Damn it, it really does.
There are 2 parts of being a good critic. First, you have to know what you like. And second, you have to be able to explain honestly why you like it, even if the reason is completely disgraceful.
Tradition of critics in the printed word goes back to newspapers, and critics would review theater, plays, and opera, and books.
The first critic, Caveman, would say, you know, over by the bushes down in the valley, the hunting's very good. Over by the lake, not so good.
I wrote my editor and I said, you will not assign this to anybody but me.
I'm Paul Mejia. I'm a freelance arts and culture critic.
I'm Kent Walgamot. I am the music critic, rock critic at the Lincoln Journal-Star in Lincoln, Nebraska.
There's an innate human need to explicate our surroundings.
Really engaging art from a thoughtful perspective is an art in itself.
I always feel like I'm the filter between the fan and the artist.
Any damn fool can create art. It's the critic who's really important, because without stepping forward to say that this was good art or bad art, who cares?
When I found I was writing something that was positive, everybody thought, you know, there was this fear that you were drinking the Kool-Aid.
It's always been a lot easier to trash something. I'm good with punchlines and jokes, so it's never hard for me to make fun of something. Try and find out why something works, I think is a lot more difficult. And I think that's the value that a critic can have.
I'm from western Nebraska, which is the absolute middle of nowhere. And the way I found out about stuff was through the magazines.
When I was growing up, there was no way to preview music. You really relied on the rock press.
At night, we'd be in bed reading those before we went to sleep. In school, you'd be reading, you'd be taken away from you in school.
You get invited out almost every night.
Look at the cool things you get to do. You get to listen to music, go to the concerts, hang out with the musicians, all of that kind of stuff.
In the 70s, that was sort of the golden age of that.
Free records, yeah, lots of free records.
Too many million words have already been written about what the music purportedly is. I'm writing about what it absolutely isn't.
I write a lot better about bands I care little for. Because I'm much more free with what I'll ask them. If I like somebody, I have to force myself to ask the hard questions.
They finally fired me because I said something bad about Christmas.
My drinking buddy ended up the editor of the campus newspaper. And one very drunken night, he says to me, well, Tim, you know about music. You like a lot of music. You want to be the rock critic for the paper? Basically get paid like $50 to write about a record, and they're giving me the record for free? Yeah, sign me up.
Did we get any respect as rock writers? Absolutely.